Hi people, Chilli here, and welcome to this 5-minute review episode. And do you want to hear a scary fact? Wolfmother's first album came out 15 years ago. Yes, the massive debut album by Wolfmother is that old. If you couldn't tell, this episode will be about Wolfmother's newest album, Rock and Roll Baby. Wolfmother is a Sydney-based hard rock group formed by guitarist and singer Andrew Stockdale. They struck it big with their self-titled album release in 2005 with big songs like Woman, Mind's Eye, and The Joker and the Thief, whose video was filmed by the Jackass crew while on tour around this time. There have been many lineups of the band, but Andrew is the only original member. The remainder of the band are made up of Hamish Rosser on drums, and for the bass recordings, Bobby Poulton. The current bass player for the band is now Alex McConnell. Fell in Love is up first, and is a short and basic rock and roll track that is to the point. It has thick riffs and a marching drum line, but feels a bit let down by the slower tempo. It's still a great track though. Rock Out follows, and is a more faster track to get your blood pumping. It's also got a decent solo, and truly does its best to live up to its title. Upload is a jump back to an 80s sound for sure. It's a groovy track, but the fuzz effect may seem out of place if you're expecting a true return to the 80s sound. A decent track and an homage to Kiss, that's for sure. Humble is an odd name for this track. The start has a big bass and guitar line that demands you get out of its way. It also talks about Andrew having to remain grounded in his field. The song feels odd with the tone of the guitar. If they picked a different tone, it would have brought more irony to the song's title. I don't know, it just doesn't sit well to me. Only Way is the next song and begins with a decent showmanship of hammer-on skills before being slugged with the heavy riffs. This song is great. It feels like the band is jamming well, and it shows on this track with tight rhythm sections complementing Andrew's guitar work. Metal and Fire is a track with a great flow thanks to its thumping bass line. The guitar work is interesting with palm muting, which gives an old school vibe. It's not a bad track overall. Outside is next, and this track is just gritty in tone and reminds me of the generic alt rock 90s sound. I think Andrew was going for an Oasis sound, but it just doesn't work. Mantle follows, and is punchy and raw both in pace and tone. Another great bass line, and the drums exemplify the song here. Ego begins, as it should, with Andrew only and his guitar, and I'm guessing that was ironic. Andrew seems to sing in a tongue-in-cheek way about how people talk to him now after all these years away from the limelight. The song furthers Andrew's talking about being grounded like it did in Humble. Well, an interesting find I came across for this song is, according to Reddit, Andrew's ego is contained inside his afro. Musical fact for the day. The last track, Walking, gives a very simple feel in it, with the guitar in a pace that's like a 1, 2, 1, 2, and overall it's an okay track. Now we get to the final part, and I have seen Wolfmother live. In fact, I saw them when some of the Jackass crew were on stage and they were recording the video for The Joker and the Thief. There was an air of innocence and good vibes that night. Fast forward to this, their 6th album, and no 2 album releases have had the same lineup, and it shows issues in their album. Yes, Andrew came up with the band, and his guitar work is pretty decent in achieving a specific sound for the band, but without a familiar rhythm section, the band is relearning the feel of itself every time there is a lineup change. And there has been a lot of those. At this stage, Andrew has been riding on the coattails of the band name for some time. Just admit that it's either a new band or your newest solo album. I gotta be honest, this album doesn't really do it for me. A redeeming point is that it's a short and sweet runtime of 30 minutes. Clearly, Andrew has had some time to catch up with 80s rock records like Kiss and Van Halen, and it does lean into his style on a lot of tracks like Upload. But overall, the album isn't that great. I only give it a 250,000 chilies on the spice scale, or a tight chili, with standout tracks being Fell in Love, Rock Out, and Only Way. The self-produced 80s rock homage fell short, and once again, Wolfmother fall prey to big first album shadows like Weezer has. Thank you for tuning into this episode of 5-Minute Reviews. If you like this episode, please hit like and subscribe to our channel to find out more. If you would like also to go over to our Instagram or Twitter at Liveless and Erased, you can join our comment section in regards to what was your favourite tracks. Thank you, have a great day, and keep it spicy.